Hey y'all, my name is Priscilla and welcome back to my channel. So today I have another TBR for you. I will be participating in the Sequel-a-thon, which is a readathon that takes place from March 21st through the 31st. And this is a readathon that was created by a number of wonderful booktubers that I will make sure to leave linked down in the description box below. But the Sequel-a-thon is pretty much a readathon that just promotes reading of sequels and of series that you have been putting off, maybe for some hyped standalones or new releases. And there are some associated prompts with this readathon, so I'll just make sure to read those now. The first is to read the sequel you've been putting off the longest. The second is to continue a series you started last year. The third is to complete a series. And the bonus is to give your TBR a fun sequel name. So I have a number of options that I want to read for this readathon, so I'm just going to go ahead and go through those now. So the first book I want to talk about is definitely going to be Artemis Fowl, The Eternity Code, which is book 3 in the Artemis Fowl series by Eoin Colfer. Now, this is a series that I am reading along with the Artemis Readalong that is being hosted by Kara, Giselle, and Taylor. And I'll make sure to leave all those links down below, but this is a readathon that I was really excited to take part in because I remember loving this series as a child back when I read it, like in early 2000s. I was in middle school at the time, and Artemis Fowl is a series, if you don't know, about this super rich, super genius kid. He's an Irish kid. He's an anti-hero, super morally gray, doing things that put so many people at risks for the greater good. And I remember loving this book, and now I think as an adult, I see how privileged Artemis Fowl is and how much of a spoiled brat he kind of is. But I'm still having a lot of fun with it, and I remember that book 3 was definitely my favorite in this series. So I'm super excited to get to this in anticipation for the movie that comes out later this year. And also, I really love the new covers. I think it's Kara that said she doesn't like them because they don't really look like the book, like the story, but I think they're super eye-catching and really pretty. So I'm super happy to get to this book for the read-along. So speaking of rereads, apparently this is the year of rereading for me because I mentioned before in some other videos that I don't reread a lot, but this year I seem to be picking up a lot of rereads. And also I think it's also because March is my birthday month and I kind of just want to read some fun, lighthearted things. And I am currently reading the Daughters of the Moon series, and I am currently in book 2. And this is a series by Lynne Ewing, I believe. And this is all Jocelyn's fault. Jocelyn over at Yogi the Book talked about this series and brought so many fond memories back up because I remember just devouring this back in middle school and loving it so much. And now we're rereading it all together in a group chat with Jocelyn and Yvette over at Book Cave. And I am about halfway through this book now, so I will actually probably be picking up book 3. Let me get that one. And this is book 3, and while I am excited to read this series and I'm really glad it's held up so well, the one minor thing that is still kind of bothering me is the characterization of the only Latinx character in this story, which book 3 is going to be centered on. This is her POV, and I hope, I am praying that it develops a little bit better and it's not just going to be this stereotypical chola thing that's happening right now, because that is really bothersome. But I'm really having fun with this whole like Charmed-esque early 2000s girl gang that's taking on evil right now, and it's really giving me life right now. So I will probably be reading this. And the next book I have to talk about is actually one of my most anticipated reads for this year. And that is going to be Love, Sugar Magic, A Sprinkle of Spirits by Meriano. And this is book 2 in this series. And it's the most recent release in the series, so I'm going to be counting it as completing a series this year. And I absolutely love this series. It's a middle grade and it follows a family of cocinera brujas. And in this story, Leo is just finding out she's a bruja and that she comes from a family of brujas and that they incorporate magic in all of their baked goods from their bakery. And in this continuation of the series, I think that Leo is going to be developing more of her powers and coming into her own, but also being restrained by her family due to the events of book 1. And I just love Leo. She's such a curious and honest little girl I kind of see myself a lot in, and I am really excited to continue on in this series. And also, I really love this cover art. I'll make sure to link the artist down below because she has a Society 6 shop that I frequent and have purchased things from because I just love her art style so much. And also this is own voices for the Mexican American representation. So I just love the series so much. And the next book I have to talk about is Dim Sum of All Fears by Vivien Chien. This is book 2 in her Noodle Shop Mystery series. And I found that I can actually enjoy cozy mysteries this year because I picked up her first in this series called Death by Dumpling, and I had so much fun with it that I went ahead and sought out book 2 in the series. And I'm excited to read it for this readathon because it's the perfect time to do it. I think that this story, I really appreciate the own voices Chinese American representation, and I really just like the lighthearted, almost ridiculous, but just all around fun main character who doesn't know what she's doing. She's kind of a failure at life, but she's solving these mysteries and putting respect on her family's name. So I'm just having a lot of fun with it, and I'm excited to read on in this one. And lastly, I think that my library may have Saga Volume 8 and Volume 9 available on my Libby account, so I may be getting to those during this readathon as well. I have been putting them off, and I know I left off Volume 7, and I know that Volume 9 has a death of a main character, I've heard, supposedly, and I know it's going to break my heart, so I've kind of been putting it off, but I really need to continue on in the series. And this is pretty much a space opera, science fiction story about star-crossed lovers that start a family and travel and are on the run from authorities that don't want them to be together and don't want them to have a family. And a lot of it is from the perspective of their daughter. And she's growing up. If you can see from the cover, probably I'll put here, she's growing. Hazel is getting really big now, and I need to figure out what's going on in her life. So that is probably going to be one that I hopefully get to, but it's definitely on the back burner. So that is my TBR for the Sequel-a-thon. I hope that I covered everything. I think I got everything covered. So I would love to hear from you in the comments down below if you have read any of these books or any of these series. But that's all I have for you today. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next video. Bye.